So let's talk about what Arkansas quarterback Taylen Green needs to do to have success against LSU's defense. And as of the recording of this video, it hasn't been announced yet, but going off the press that the press conference that Pittman had today on Monday when we're recording this video, it seems likely he's going to start. So even if he doesn't start, I think a lot of the keys do apply for Singleton if he ends up starting. But let's go ahead and make the video as if it's Taylen Green starting. So we're going to talk about Taylen Green, the keys for success for him, and talk about LSU's defense. We're going to look at some film here in 2 or 3 minutes that do a good job, I think, demonstrating what Green needs to do, the type of plays he needs to do, and also looking at LSU's defense. So let's talk about LSU's defense first. The biggest thing that comes to mind in watching LSU these past 5-6 games, how many games they've had, is improvement. I thought they looked really good against Ole Miss, against an offense that's pretty explosive, against one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC. And you can see LSU has changed their defensive approach a bit to this point of the season. So if we look at South Carolina, game 2, they got pressure on Lenore's Sellers. Now, they've been able to get pressure in every game so far. Like, that hasn't been the issue. The issue has been the explosive plays. The issue has been the defensive backs, not necessarily the D-line, the linebackers, the front 7, right? They've done a good job the whole season. So against South Carolina, they got pressure. They had 7 sacks on Lenore's Sellers, but South Carolina had several explosive plays. South Carolina was able to expose the defense a bit, and LSU blitzed 57% of Sellers' drop back passes. And you saw South Carolina was able to get 33 or have 33 points. So we saw them blitz a ton, and it led to explosive plays. Well, against Ole Miss, I kind of think they found a formula of how to have success so far, or how to have success with this defense. Against Ole Miss, they only blitzed 19% of Jackson Dart's dropbacks, and they had 24 pressures. They got 7 sacks, and they forced an interception, a big interception on Jackson Dart. And LSU's DBs did look better against Ole Miss. Now, there was a drop pass that should have been a touchdown. So maybe you can make the argument that, hey, they look the exact same. But still, I think the fact that they're only blitzing or only bringing 4 guys more often than not, and they're able to have more guys in the defensive backfield, they're able to have more guys defend the pass, I think has helped. Even against South Alabama, they only blitzed 25% of the time. Now, I know it's South Alabama, but still, they didn't blitz that much. They had 28 total pressures and 6 sacks against a good G5 passing team. Now, I know it's G5, so again, but still. So it looks like so far LSU's defense has gone from blitzing a ton to not blitzing as much, trying to get pressure while being able to have 7 guys defend the pass. So that kind of, I think, fits perfectly into, if you're LSU, going into Arkansas, a team that has had some offensive line issues, right? So with that said, let's go and talk about Taylen Green. What are the keys for success against LSU? I think it comes out to, like, the main theme for me is repeat the performance against Tennessee and then some more improvement on top of that. So I think Tennessee was his best game if you consider the level of talent that he was going up against. So I think it was his best game, and there were still some missed throws, still some plays that you wanted back, but he made several NFL plays. And the biggest key, my biggest takeaway, is he had 0 turnovers. That's why you beat Tennessee. Going into the Tennessee game, he had 5 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles, I believe. Big reasons why Arkansas lost a few games, right, was the turnovers. But against Tennessee, you had 0. So key number 1 is to repeat that performance that you had against Tennessee, and that is not turn the ball over, right? Take care of the ball, no careless mistakes. I don't think you are going to be in a position to win if you have, some careless mistakes and some bad turnovers. Key number 2, hit open receivers. Now, he did a better job of that. He was more accurate against Tennessee, but we still saw a few throws that were off, or the receiver had to dive forward, so they didn't end up getting a touchdown, right? I think if you have those type of plays against LSU, if you miss open receivers, I don't think you're going to be able to win the game, right? I think you're going to have to hit those throws. So again, like we talked about, improvement on top of the Tennessee game. And then key number 3, I would like to see a bit more play action. I think it helps them get comfortable. I think it helps the defense, or helps, the defense potentially get out of position. Of his 5 interceptions, 0 picks are off play action. So all of his interceptions are straight drop back passes, right? So I'd like to see some play action just to get him more comfortable. Now, I don't know how mobile he's going to be. We will see. I can't imagine them putting a quarterback like Taylen Green out if he's not close to 100%. If he can't at least escape and use his legs, like, that has to be some of the game plan, I would imagine, right? How much is that going to be part of the game plan? I don't know, but I would imagine that has to be part of the game plan. He's got to be healthy enough to move around. Now, like we talked about at the recording of this video, It has not been announced yet, but it looks like he's going to start. It could be Singleton. I think some of these keys still apply for Singleton, right? No turnovers, hit open receivers, use some play action to get comfortable. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at some clips of LSU's defense and what they've been able to do well. We'll look at some LSU or some clips against Ole Miss, and then we'll go ahead and look at some clips of Taylen Green, the type of throws and plays he's going to have success against LSU's defense. Check out LSU's defense first. Again, we talked about LSU's defense getting pressure on Dart without bringing a lot, or without having to blitz, right? They only blitzed 19% of Dart's dropbacks. They had 7 sacks, led to an interception. So here's LSU just bringing 4. And we talked about the improvement of LSU's secondary. At least they showed improvement. But just because they showed improvement doesn't mean there's still not flaws there. So this right here should have been a touchdown. This is early in the game. LSU only brings 4. They have a little delayed blitz action, or man covers the back. Good throw by Jackson Dart. I forgot who this receiver is, but he beats his guy. This should have been a touchdown. He's got, 2-3 steps on him, hits him right in the hands, and just drops, right? So even though LSU's defense has improved, their secondary has improved, I really do think they have, I still think you can take shots downfield if you're Taylen Green and you're Arkansas. I still want to at least try to do that, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and watch one more clip of LSU's defense. I'll move myself over here. And so here's an interception. So they don't actually sack or get a lot of pressure on Dart this play, but it's a good example. Whenever you've gotten a lot of pressure, it's actually good blocking, but whenever you've gotten a lot of pressure on the quarterback, it eventually can lead to ill-advised and forced throws, which exactly is what happens here. This is the interception. Just a ball that probably shouldn't have been thrown, right? You got a lot of LSU defenders there. Ends up being an interception there. So just an example of the amount of pressure that LSU can get. Even if they don't get pressure on that play, it can lead to interception. So the main key, the main goal for Taylen Green, pause real quick, is to limit the turnovers, right? You had 0 against Tennessee and you won. I think you're going to have 0 against LSU to win as well. So here's Green hitting on a throw of an open receiver. So again, something we talked about he has to do. This is a 3rd and 9. He goes through his progressions, able to push the ball downfield. One of the main keys, make sure you hit open receivers, and this is what he does here. Now, it looks like an easy throw, and it is a easier throw for a high D1 quarterback, but it's a throw that Green has missed in the past or has been a bit inaccurate. So it was nice to see this type of throw here, and that's something he's going to have to repeat against LSU. Key number 2 that I want to see is I do want to see some play action. Here's a play action here, and he throws on the run. Is he going to be able to make these type of throws against LSU? Like, is his lower body, is his knee healthy enough? Again, assuming he is playing, which we are right now. So you would think if they're going to play Green, he's going to be able to make some, or they're going to be able to call some rollouts and utilize play action, right? We talked about how much more comfortable, at least I think he is more comfortable off play action. He has 0 interceptions off play action compared to 5 on regular straight drop back. So is he going to be able to make these type of throws? Again, we don't. Not sure, right? Not like we talked about, we don't think they'll put a guy out there that can't, but we'll see, right? So that's key number 2, play action. Key number 3, some NFL type throws. Let's go ahead here. Hitting on these explosive throws, I think you're going to have to make, and you could potentially have against LSU's defense. And this is an NFL throw. Now, if you've watched our LSU QB video against Arkansas's defense, you've heard us talk about NFL throws by Nuss. Well, this is an NFL throw by Taylen Green, next level throw. So you need to see these type of throws repeated. In the last key, avoiding these throws here. If you have multiple throws like this where, he completed it, but it's a bad throw, a good throw would have been a touchdown, then it's going to be hard to beat LSU, right? Now, we talked about how much Green improved against Tennessee. I really thought he improved, but there were still several throws like that throw. And then you saw a throw or the read where he missed Tesla running wide open. Now, it's a lot easier for us to see in the TV than behind the center, but still, you got to be able to make those throws and to beat LSU. So if you're an Arkansas fan, let us know, one, your thoughts of Taylen Green in the comments below. What do you think he needs to do to have success? And by the time this video comes out, they may have already announced him, or maybe they have announced Singleton. Maybe he does end up starting, right? But as of now, according to the press conference with Pittman, it does look like he is going to, at least he's projecting to be a starter. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below, what you want to see from Green against LSU's defense. And as always, we just put out a lot of SEC quarterback content. So if you like that type of niche content, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, and share. It does help us grow. Thanks for following us along. We'll see you next time. Peace.